Hey guys, another Channel Weird. I'm Clyde Lewis. Today we have two very special guests on the program. Uh, Film directors, film producers, independent film producers, and writers. Philip and Tim Wade with us here. The Wade brothers. Oh, I know them. Wade brothers. 5 years ago, you went on my show Ground Zero, and you talked about a movie that you wanted to make, and it was going to be about Mount Adams. And now you have a movie out called Mount Adams, which is now on Prime, which is it definitely has some very original ideas in it. First of all, for those of you that don't know, Mount Adams has a legend behind it. Why don't you tell us the legend behind Mount Adams?
Sure, yeah. There's a lot that goes into it. In fact, all the way to the Native Americans, they have, lots of, mythology and folklore surrounding the mountain. You pick something, pick a topic like Bigfoot, UFOs, aliens, spiritual enlightenment. It's there at
Mhm.
Mount Adams. And that's something that we discovered a number of years ago. We were investigating the Yakima Lights, probably like 8-9 years ago, something like that. My brother Tim and I, and we were driving back through, from Eastern Washington back here, and we ended up stopping by Mount Adams because we're like, we got to check this out. We've heard stuff, and we went over to, we stopped, swung by the ESETI Ranch, the Enlightened Contact.
With extraterrestrial intelligence.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And from there, we actually spent the night up on a bridge out on the end of an old logging road, and we had a very unnerving encounter with something or multiple things, whatever they were, kind of freaked us out. And we got back, and later on, we were working on movie concept ideas, and like, dude, I could do that, but yeah, I mean, the UFO phenomenon here in the United States, you could say originated at Mount Adams, right? With the Kenneth Arnold in
Exactly.
1947.
Mhm.
He saw the train, you say that, of UFOs flying from Rainier to Mount Adams. I remember correctly.
Right.
That's the right
Exactly.
direction.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I wouldn't want them to get mad at me or anything.
No.
But that started the whole UFO phenomenon in the United States, and it originated at Mount Adams. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that. We always focus on Roswell as I guess, the opening shot, but really, we go back to Maury Island. We can go back to Kenneth Arnold, and of course Mount Adams, and that whole area there in Washington has been a hotbed for UFO activity. And it's amazing that a lot of people, I don't think, know this. And so it's good to bring out that history. It really is. Uh, so who was the one that organized everything? Was it you, Tim, or was it you?
We both kind of just sort of jumbled it all up into a hat and sort of picked out different things we wanted to do, and just kind of went with it. I mean, there's a very, very tiny, shoestring budget, kind of, barely afford a McDonald's dollar menu kind of budget, and so we just kind of like, well, if it has to get done, well, I guess we'll do it.
I was watching in the credits that the special effects you guys did.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
you designed the aliens too.
I did. Yeah.
Tell us about that, because they were pretty advanced for a low shoestring budget movie, in my opinion.
Oh, well, I've been dabbling in visual effects on and off
For the last 10 years. I mean, it started out when I was a kid doing little movie projects and stuff. Um, I mean, crazy enough, the aliens sort of have a dinosaur-like look, and that was actually taken from the inspiration. One of the people that talked to Adams basically said that they think that the portal of Mount Adams could go back to a different time period in Earth's history, because they said that they supposedly saw a flying dinosaur fly over the landscape. So we're thinking like, that's actually a pretty cool concept, except in the movie it takes place on a different planet. But so it's just another little thing, local thing to the storyline.
Yeah, it's like there's always that talk. I remember James Gilliland, who runs ESETI, he said he believes that there's a hidden city underneath the mountain. And I think that was kind of hinted in the movie that there's a place, that doorway that's in the city or another world you need. And did you have to do a lot of research with some of the talk of the area in order to come up with your ideas, or did you just have a little bit and just went from there?
I mean, honestly, the inspiration that we got from talking to the locals, and especially James and his ranch, City Ranch, that was pretty much all the inspiration we needed. And it was just, yeah, pen and paper, and it went from there.
Um, can I ask you what your budget was?
Sure, yeah, is it around $100,000?
Really?
Roughly, yeah. A lot of credit cards. So it's yeah. As a matter of fact, they're still paying on it. So fingers crossed, hopefully,
So, but
all that.
you got the deal on time, and you're doing really well with this. So hopefully, it'll make you a lot of money.
Yeah, it got
into Walmart for a little while, so
Yeah.
we'll see what we get out of that. It was picked up by Echo Bridge Acquisitions, I believe, for DVD distribution, and a possible release in Canada as well on DVD.
So were the locations pretty much? I mean, did you guys climb Mount Adams? I mean, it looked like you were going up the mountainside, or did you guys find an area and just kind of gave us the illusion you were climbing up the mountain?
It is all an illusion. So there's, I actually built a CGI replica of Mount Adams based on height data from the whatever government place it was. Yeah, basically we went up to just outside of the mountain on a cliff edge, and basically got a really high resolution camera, shot as much detail as we possibly could. And then I took that and built a very accurate replica in post that we used for background plates, like aerial shots, like some of the drone stuff as well. And then the actual on the ground stuff that we filmed where they're actually on a mountain, that was actually like 30 minutes. It's about an hour outside of Salem. So it would be about 2 hours from here, on a little mountainside called Snow Peak. But yeah, nobody caught us because we didn't.
Yeah, that's a good thing. It's good.
Well, we did have some weird run-ins.
Yeah.
The area, the mountains, and near Lyons and Scio and all that. I'm pretty sure there's shady stuff that goes on, and so we had a couple people like wander into our filming camps at night and then like barrel out of there when they saw all of us.
It was a better option because it's very hard to get filming permits to film on Mount Adams just because of all of the native land and the use of it's very scattered.
Yeah. And for the record too, we actually did climb up most of Mount Adams as well for the documentary project, which you're in actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we haven't released it yet. We had to get Mount Adams the movie done, and we have a draft of the documentary coming out as well, and it's out there.
Well, I mean, like I say, I was watching and I was thinking that the whole concept of what you've done is very original, because I would have thought, you included a UFO or the UFO story, the portal story. You included these aliens that were very original. I mean, you could have gone the route of, the Greys, but no, you were going the route of reptilian type of creatures, and they're amazing. They're and that's why I'm saying that. That's why I wanted to know your budget, because I was thinking, that kind of design is right up there with what you'd see in a regular Hollywood movie, really.
Well, I really appreciate that. That's a very high compliment. That's what I was going for.
We did actually. This was the second edition of the monsters. Yeah, we started with a chupacabra kind of monster. They're like super duper and then flimsy sort of dog creatures. Yeah, and then we went back and we're like, let's try a second round here. And the funny thing is, we actually we shot the movie in 2016, and then every year we went back and we did reshoots, and we added new scenes to the movie. We were working on this continual improvement of it. Trying to over a year to do the visual effects. So like even out in the forest and stuff, those aren't backplates. In the cabin scene, that's all CGI. So I built a replica of the cabin plus the entire surrounding of that. So it was definitely a journey. I destroyed my computer just rendering out all of the visual effects.
The other quite convincing and scary effect is that bug. Did you design that?
I did. Yep.
That's the most terrifying looking. I mean, there could have been a whole scene of an invasion of those, and it would have been terrifying because that bug itself was. When I saw it, I'm like going, "This is." I mean, especially when it's crawling around and it's like it's the scariest thing you'll ever see. And that's the thing is that there's a lot of imagination behind these special effects, which really makes the film, worth watching. Just because you just see how did they do that? What did they do? And how did they have the budget to do that? That's what I kept thinking when I was watching it.
A lot of people,
the trailer stuff was a lot of people online basically are like calling it a studio project, and we have to keep going online and correcting people like, no, this is not a studio project. I did all the visual effects, sound design, all that stuff just happened in our basement over the course of a couple of years. I think we pulled it off fairly well to some degree. At least the people actually think that there is a real studio with a real budget and stuff behind it. So, proud of that.
You did a lot of drone shoots too, didn't you?
Quite a few, yeah. We love drone shots. So the drone shots were added 3 years after we initially filmed. And there's some crazy aspects behind that because the year that we were doing those, there was tons of smoke. The whole valley where we were shooting was completely smoked out. And I remember I got a call from Adam and Ian, the two drone guys. They were very gracious, by the way, came out from Seattle. The drone's like this big, by the way. We actually put our movie camera on it, which is about this long. And it was a big project, but they were very generous on that. And they called me up that morning. They were like, "There's smoke everywhere out here. Like, how, we're gonna have to call this off." And I was like, we came all this way. Like, let's do it. Let's make this happen anyway. And we're like, okay, And so we drove out there. We got everything set up, and it's crazy. But as soon as we got ready to film, the wind shifted, and I took my staff and I yelled it.
Yeah.
And all of it just went away. 3 commandments.
I command thee to part.
And the smoke parted. Yeah. And we were able to get our shots. And then later that evening, it all came back. It was like the weirdest
coincidence ever. But that was our only shot.
I mean, we took the chance because we knew that was the only time we could actually get the drone to do that. And I think it helped. I mean, do you feel that it helped in the story to kind of show?
Well, yeah, I thought it was very what's the word, anticipatory in a way. There was like a caravan, going up the mountain, and I'm thinking it's very anticipatory because you're like watching it. It's like you're a part of it. You're like part of the. It kind of reminds me of the scene I think from Twister, where you're seeing the caravan, going up the road following the tornado. That's what it reminded me of. I was saying, and I thought, yeah, it's kind of like Twister because they're determined and they're heading out there, and it's really cool. So
there's an interesting aspect to that too. When you see the caravan, you've got there's like a Camry at the front, and there's a Toyota 4Runner, and that 4Runner I wrecked during the middle of filming. I fell asleep at the wheel at 2:00 in the morning when we were shooting, and rolled it.
And I thought I was gonna die, but that thing was toast, and we actually got it. My dad helped me get it fixed and up and running for the drone shots. So in those drone shots, that was 2 or 3 years later, with the 4Runner repaired and back in working condition again.
Wow!
So
he called me early that morning, and I was in the production trailer with my younger brother Matthew, who's also plays Thomas in the movie. And yeah, I was on the phone, and I don't know if he was like still like, I just pictured him being upside down,
Well, I was, yeah.
And he's like, "Hey buddy, I got like 1%. I just, on my phone battery, and it's just been in a wreck. I kind of rolled the Jeep, and I just want to say I'm gonna, just in case nobody comes out to pick me up or whatever, maybe if you could, stay on the line for a little while, and I will be there in the morning though." So I was like, "Okay, you let me know if you need help."
Oh my gosh. That's that's the way you got to do things sometimes. It's like we made a movie a while back, and we had to experiment with blowing up a car.
Oh my goodness!
And it was I'll tell you the story. It's pretty interesting. Hey guys, we're with the Wade brothers right here on Channel Weird, talking about the new movie Mount Adams on Prime Video. Interesting film about Mount Adams. So we'll be back with more. Don't go away.
Thank you all so much for being with us today. Now, I'm sure you all are wondering where our next research expedition is going to be.
Aliens, strange lights, people completely vanishing, monsters. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Mount Adams.
There's lots of UFOs and lights. It's what comes out of the red lights. Monsters or aliens or something. They come out and they steal livestock, sometimes people. Then you got to get the hell out of there.
How about we get up on that mountain?
No, it's not safe.
Look, you don't have to go. Nobody's forced.
Hey, look down there.
I don't know if you believe in all this, but it sure as hell is real.
Willie, this is Glenn. Can you hear me? We can't find Bill.
It just so happens that there are real monsters and aliens out to kill us.
You need to come see this.
Oh, I'm not leaving you here.
Thomas, give me another shell now.
Onward to battle with the aliens.
It's a well-known fact that controversial talk show hosts have recently been censored and even banned on the internet by corporate and political interests. Hey guys, it's Clyde Lewis from Ground Zero. And in order to counter the suppression of information, we've decided to create our own private digital playground called Aftermath. It's an exclusive online multimedia library featuring a social media platform, videos, audio clips, archive shows, research groups, documents, and a news aggregator. In addition, we're hosting other Ground Zero friendly podcasts like Conspirafact with Wes and Bill, Into the Microcosm with Jimmy Jean, Pair Awareness with Mr. Gates and Isaac Weishaupt, Opposing Perspective with James Ponder, The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray Valentine, and several more shows. Mobile apps for Android and Apple are available too. The monthly subscription for Aftermath is only $10 a month. And don't forget to check out the yearly specials, including the Friends and Family Pass with one main account and 3 sub-accounts. Sign up now by going to aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Are you stressed? I mean, who isn't? Anxiety creeping in? No, not that. Is sleep hard to attain because your brain just won't slow down? We're living in crazy times, and the fear knob has been turned up. Okay, there's an answer. Take a big breath, exhale, and go log on to AncientLifeOil.com. CBD, broad and full spectrum, organic and non-GMO CBD for you to enjoy. Change your tune from fear to calm, from brain overload to clear thinking. 0.003 THC on full spectrum and 0% THC on broad spectrum. Competitive pricing with the best quality. Also know everything is going to get better. No worries, be happy. CBD can help calm so your nerves don't think they're a 6-string electric guitar. Enjoy life, smile, and log on to AncientLifeOil.com for great CBD. That's AncientLifeOil.com. You'll be glad you did.
Philip and Tim Wade with us, the Wade brothers. The movie's called Mount Adams. It's available now, and great film about Mount Adams and the craziness that goes on out there. And when did the inspiration start? You said it was 5 years ago. So what's spawned the idea? I know that you've been out there. I've been out there too, out in that area. did you put pen to paper when you were there, when you visited, and thought this would make a great movie, or what? How does this inspiration start?
Well, there's it went. We didn't actually come up with the idea for the movie when we first went there. It kind of sat around dormant for a few years while we worked on another project called Manifest.
Okay.
And once we got done with that, that's when we were wondering, like, what do we do next? And we actually went to Snow Peak. Tim and I went out there, hiked up to another little mountain here in Oregon, and we just hung out there for a couple of days, just chilling. And we were sitting up there, and we're like, so what do we do? And it's like, kind of came to us, we're like, hey, remember when we were up at Mount Adams area and we had that wacky experience? And we're like, actually, there you go. Maybe that's
that one time that we thought Bigfoot was coming after us.
So yeah, what happened a few years prior is, we'd gone out there to check out the lights and stuff. And, we went up this old logging road, went out as far as it would go, and it basically dead ended. And then we just hiked straight through the, woods, and we wound up kind of getting into this clearing on this plateau. And we're like, hey, good view. We can see the night sky and that kind of thing. And there's a little, I don't know how to describe it exactly, but like a structure. Somebody had like taken some logs and put it together and had this little structure. And so we kind of hunkered down in there and waited for the night. And as it got darker, we started to hear this weird grunting and kind of roaring a little bit, this like loud grunts. And
it was way off in the distance.
We're like, oh, that's interesting,
Creepy.
And then, as the night went on, we started to hear it closer and closer.
Right.
And then here's the weird part. It started happening behind us, in front of us, to the sides, all at the same time. So there's like
surround sound.
Maybe the structure you were in was a Bigfoot structure. Have you ever thought of that?
Who knows?
Because I know that when you go through the mountains, like in Ostrander and places like Kelso and Longview, the whole area there, you see these structures and you don't know what they are, and they say that they could be Bigfoot structures. And if they are, you guys are probably staying in one of their structures. They're all going, "Who are these idiots that are in our
right?"
structure?" They're going to attack you. But so I mean, and that's the thing, is that I've always heard that in a Bigfoot encounter, you hear it's almost like the growls are surrounding you, and it's like it's like they're either coming down from here or from the sides. I mean, is that what you're experiencing?
That is exactly what we're experiencing.
Yeah, 5.1 surround sound.
Yeah, there's also just branches just crashing and intentionally breaking.
Yeah,
all around us too.
That was just kind of the weird part, right? Because a lot of wild animals don't go around just like knocking over trees
intentionally.
We got the feeling. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we got the feeling that we weren't supposed to be there, that something was trying to tell us to get out.
Yeah, I mean, we were just hanging out there like, we brought a ton of snacks.
This went on for like an hour.
Snickers bars, and I think they wanted our candy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but when the Skookum Bigfoot cast was made, they attracted Bigfoot with candy and with fruit cocktail.
Oh.
So they put fruit cocktail out for Bigfoot, and he came in, he laid in the mud. And he ate it, and that's why they call it Skookum cast, because they got the butt and back of Bigfoot. It's like instead of the big foot, they got the big butt, pretty much, and that's how they got it. But so this was not in Mount Adams where you had this sort of Bigfoot encounter, as Snow Peak.
Oh no,
this was right outside of Mount Adams.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, this was on an old logging road. I think it was off of Little Mountain Road. So Little Mountain Road is where you get to the Isetti Ranch, and we had no idea what we were doing there. This is our first time, and we just wandered down random roads, and I think we were on that road for a while, and then we ended up veering off on some dirt road, and we just followed that for a while, and then we went off on another road, and eventually we just wound up. If you pull out a map, I probably couldn't put it on a map right now because it's been like 8-9 years.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember the location, and just what we experienced that night burned etched in our memory. So
just parked the car and just got into nowhere, and then just walked off into the woods.
I had my Bigfoot experience over there too.
Yeah,
and it was at Isetti, and it was an accidental thing. It's like, see some guy standing there that looks like a muscular wrestler type guy, but it turns out the face looked different. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's Bigfoot. And I didn't have time to snap a picture or anything because it just happened so fast. And that's the thing, is that you don't plan things like that. You just say, "Oh, I'm not expecting it," and then when you see it, you're like, "Oh my God, what did I see?" So
Yeah,
that's what I mean. It's definitely something that I know a lot of people will laugh at. But in fact, I always tell people my least favorite thing to talk about is Bigfoot because of that reason, because people don't want to believe there's something out there that's in the mountains that could be like a mountain ape or something. I mean, do you believe that it's like something like that, or do you believe it's supernatural?
It's really hard to. I have no idea what to actually think about. Like, we've been to Bigfoot conferences and like the whole thing, with the documentary, just talking with Bigfoot people all the time. I mean, there's a whole lot of theories, and apparently everybody's right. So I don't. Maybe they're all right. Maybe
Yeah.
there's space foots and mountain foots, and
Well,
who knows?
The intriguing part about Bigfoot is that you can find it in almost every like culture out there, going back thousands of years in some cases. And the Native Americans talk about it. When we were around Mount Adams, we got in touch with a few, and there was, it's there. I mean, the stories are there, and really makes you wonder that, okay, so if the Native Americans going back thousands of years had encounters or claimed to have encounters with these creatures, then, where did that come from? I mean, that doesn't prove Bigfoot's real, but it certainly makes you wonder, like, well, how did these stories originate?
Right. Yeah, it's interesting because they have different names for it, and there are different versions of it all over the world. Literally, I mean, I've been hearing stories out of Russia now. The Bigfoot's in Russia, or Bigfoot, and there's even more stories about skinwalkers now too.
Oh yeah,
which is another amazing thing. The Mount Adams movie too. One of the things I thought was interesting about, like we were talking about the bug, it reminded me of how apparently there's, from what I understand, there are like what they're called fairies that are in the fields. And they're big winged creatures. And I was just wondering if you were inspired to make that bug because of the whole idea of the fairies that were in the fields there.
Ding, ding, ding. You are correct.
Oh, good. Okay. So tell us about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you go out to the fields and stuff, they're like, oh, look at these fairies and stuff. And of course, I think James or like different people have like sketches and stuff. And I was thinking like, it'd be kind of cool. Like, let's ground this in reality here. Let's just make this a big scary bug. Which stings you, and then you end up with giant zits on your on your leg, which don't kill you or turn you into a zombie or anything cool. They just just look gross.
Right. Which reminds me, who's a fan of Dr. Pimple Popper?
Other family members. Growing up, they love watching. So there's always medical shows on, playing, and this is like. I mean, I certainly found it incredibly gross, but apparently I was the lucky guy because I got to play in the scene where I got to cut it open and stuff.
Yeah, this the girl gets stung and it makes this huge zit or whatever it was on her leg, and I was just watching that going, this reminds me of Dr. Pimple Popper because he was just like pushing all that goop, looked like pudding or whatever coming out of the leg, and I'm like going, ugh.
I think it was mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, mayonnaise and some fake blood.
Yeah, like tomato juice or like for the blood, because it's like it's supposed to like mix and be a little bit watery. And then the makeup artist, Cameron Gates, shout out to him, he's in Portland as well, basically took a condom, stuffed mayonnaise inside it, and then like rolled it up into a ball, and then tied that and put that on the leg and covered the surrounding area with makeup.
Yeah, I think he used one of those, was it silicone skin overlays, to create that, cover it up. And then, Tim used an actual knife to cut that open. And and we only had one opportunity to get that shot. Once we busted that open, that was it. So it was a little bit of pressure on the camera guy, I guess me, to make sure to get
make sure it's in focus. Well.
Yeah. But that was our biggest challenge. We didn't really have a focus puller on set.
Right.
So a lot of the times, I personally shot a little more than half the movie. So I was running the focus and trying to film at the same time. And so it was this constant battle of trying to keep things in focus and get the angles and shots and follow the action and everything else at the same time.
Casting. Let's talk about casting. I mean, I know you guys are in it. We see you.
Sorry about that.
A big smile on my face when I saw you both in there. But what about the other cast members, and how'd you get those guys to be a part of it?
That was through IMDb. It has actually it's a pretty good little. Basically, you put out a casting call, and then you see who applies for the role and stuff like that, and then you just kind of go through. And we did interviews and stuff. So that's how we got Emily Sweet and Alessandra, Greg James, Elise. Those are Portland actors, so it's I think it's a fairly nice mix.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, because I was thinking to myself, a lot of the cast members were perfect for their roles,
Mm-hmm.
and it just seemed like they were fresh faced, different. We're not used to seeing those types of people, but they were definitely. I mean, it was almost like, they weren't actors. They did it so naturally that it appeared that you could actually believe these characters. That's what I liked about the film. You could actually believe that this person was this person or that person was that person, and. I'm just laughing at the one scene. I don't want to give it away because it's a spoiler, but that one scene where, well, I can't tell you.
No, it's okay. Go for it.
Really?
Yeah, it's all cool.
The scene where you think she's dead.
Oh yeah.
Who thought of that?
So we went back and forth on that scene because originally she died. And then later on, shortly before filming, we're like, we need to make a plot twist. So actually, she survives. So we were kind of going back and forth on.
It's like I'm not dead yet. Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was laughing. I'm not dead. I got better. I'm fine now.
And the dude in that scene is my brother Matthew. So all of us brothers are in it. There's 6 of us bros, and we're all in the movie in different places.
Wow. Yeah, it's an amazing, fun film. Mount Adams, you need to see this movie. It's local, it's independent, and done on a shoestring budget, but you'd never guess it because the CGI effects are amazing in it. With the Wade brothers right here on Ground Zero. Oh, sorry, Channel Weird, Ground Zero. We'll be right back. Don't go away. On the phone with me is Ronnie from getthetea.com. Hey, Ronnie, it is the tea that makes you go, I know this because I use it. My favorite is pomegranate. What kind of flavors are there to choose from with this wonderful tea?
You can do pomegranate. You can do just the straight, which is real good. And also we have a mint, a peppermint. People really love that one too. And we have a couple new flavors on the way, which I will not discuss yet, but they're coming.
A lot of people don't know that peppermint is a very, very good supplement to keep the stomach happy. It relaxes the intestines, and once again, it makes you feel better because it allows them to move around and get that stuff out of you, that bad stuff out of you.
Absolutely. This is a digest mover. So people have a hard time digesting stuff, or you get something stuck, or maybe you're a real heavy meat eater. The tea is wonderful. That's why it's tagline, the tea that makes you go.
If I want my life to change and get the tea, where do I go to get it?
Getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com.
Fantastic.
Hey guys, it's Clyde Lewis. Have you ever wanted Ground Zero merchandise but didn't know where to go? Well, I want to let you know that we now have our own online store with such items as t-shirts, hoodies, decals, tote bags, and other exclusive specialty apparel. There's a secure and easy-to-use shopping cart for your purchases. Coming soon will be signed posters and coffee mugs available as we are constantly adding new items. So shop today at the official Ground Zero store by going to groundzeromerch.com. That's groundzeromerch.com.
It's all over the news, food shortages and scarcity in the supply chain. And the reality is nobody truly knows what might happen in the near future. Hi, I'm Clyde Lewis, and I want to let you know that it's a good idea to plan ahead so you aren't caught off guard. Nothing's more important than having enough food to eat, and we're here to help. We highly recommend My Patriot Supply, America's leading emergency preparedness company. They provide long-term emergency food that lasts up to 25 years in storage. When grocery stores run empty or disasters strike, their foods will be there when you need them most. Act now and secure at least a 4-week emergency food kit full of tasty meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. They have dozens of emergency food storage kits to choose from, along with a variety of other survival products. If the government tells you not to go out, you can have the peace of mind that comes from being prepared. After you order from My Patriot Supply, your food will arrive discreetly at your doorstep. Prepare today, because time is short. Go to preparewithgroundzero.com. That's preparewithgroundzero.com.
AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Are you stressed? I mean, who isn't? Anxiety creeping in? No, not that. Is sleep hard to attain because your brain just won't slow down? We're living in crazy times, and the fear knob has been turned up. Okay, there's an answer. Take a big breath, exhale, and go log on to ancientlifeoil.com. CBD, broad and full spectrum, organic and non-GMO CBD for you to enjoy. Change your tune from fear to calm, from brain overload to clear thinking. 0.003 THC on full spectrum and 0% THC on broad spectrum. Competitive pricing with the best quality. Also know everything is going to get better. No worries, be happy. CBD can help calm so your nerves don't think they're a 6-string electric guitar. Enjoy life, smile, and log on to ancientlifeoil.com for great CBD. That's ancientlifeoil.com. You'll be glad you did.
It's a well-known fact that controversial talk show hosts have recently been censored and even banned on the internet by corporate and political interests. Hey guys, it's Clyde Lewis from Ground Zero. And in order to counter the suppression of information, we've decided to create our own private digital playground called Aftermath. It's an exclusive online multimedia library featuring a social media platform, videos, audio clips, archive shows, research groups, documents, and a news aggregator. In addition, we're hosting other Ground Zero friendly podcasts like Conspirafact with Wes and Bill, Into the Microcosm with Jimmy Jean, Pair Awareness with Mr. Gates and Isaac Weishaupt, Opposing Perspective with James Ponder, The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray Valentine, and several more shows. Mobile apps for Android and Apple are available too. The monthly subscription for Aftermath is only $10 a month. And don't forget to check out the yearly specials, including the Friends and Family Pass with one main account and 3 sub-accounts. Sign up now by going to aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
We're with the Wade brothers. Mount Adams is the movie. Channel Weird. So, how did you get your budget? How did you raise your money? And the reason why I want to ask is because I know there are a lot of people out there that wonder, how am I going to make my movie? How am I going to, I have this idea for a movie. How am I going to make it? And how am I going to make it like the Wade brothers made their movie? Because I know a lot of people out there are just like going, the Wade brothers, man. It's just the Wade. No, I'm just kidding. It's just, those Wade brothers, I tell you. No, I really want to know, because I did an independent film, and I always told that what you do is you get a bunch of doctors drunk and then you ask them to write the checks. Is that pretty much what you, you invite a bunch of doctors over and morticians, and you say, here's all the alcohol you want, and hire a bunch of women. And they say, okay. And that's how you make your money. How'd you guys get your money? Just want to know.
It's not quite as exciting as that.
Okay, well, all right.
Yeah.
That's how they do it in Hollywood.
I don't know if anybody would necessarily want to copy what we did.
We sold our souls.
Right. Yeah. We signed a pact with the devil.
Tim standing on the side of the road. Hey, baby.
Well, yeah, it's wore my nuts.
Or was it you?
Well, actually, I'll let Philip answer that question. And on that train, there's another little interesting Easter eggs in the movie.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you answer that.
All right, go ahead.
So when we started the project, we were, just kind of chilling at the top of Snow Peak. We were kind of at a low point in life. We had lost everything and pretty much had to leave the place. We were living in a garage at the time. Our previous movie project and everything had kind of fallen apart. We were in a pretty bad place in life.
Why not lose more?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're sitting there.
We suck. We want to suck less.
Right. And so we were pretty much starting over. We were starting fresh.
Okay.
And, it's a nice way to put it, right? Starting fresh. And so, that's where we got the idea. Hey, why don't we make this movie? And we were like, let's make this a found footage movie, because we didn't have any money. And we were like, okay, let's do that. I'm sure there's not that many independent filmmakers who can, understand where we were at with things. But at that point, no money. We just starting off and so we, I was working I just started a new job working full time, and Tim was also doing some work. And so we're like, okay, let's start saving money. So every month we saved, and eventually we wound up with like $8,000 in our savings accounts. And so we're just kind of living real tight, just keeping everything small and saving up the money. And we got $8,000 and we're like, let's do this. And so we set a date, and the date was September 1. And this was back in like January when we set the time, January of 2016. And we had the $8,000 in the bank account. We were like, okay, we're going to shoot this movie September 1, come hell or high water. We don't care how, the financing comes together or not. And so we started moving down that track. And as, things started developing, we realized, what, we should probably shoot this cinematic style. So we got out of the found footage and we started experimenting with cameras and lenses and different things like that, and trying to push it, down a more professional route. But of course, that comes with the extra cost. So that's when we started getting credit cards, and I applied for like 10 credit cards all at the same time because I had a good credit score. And then I got them all, and then my credit score tanked after that. So like literally tanked. That was terrible. But we had all this credit we could use. And then we got an investor that dropped in for $20,000 after we had been down this track quite a ways. We'd already spent the $8,000 and we were rapidly going through the credit cards. And the investor came in right at the last minute, like a week before filming. But we were going to film anyway. We were at that point where it didn't matter. So, we had to cut a lot of corners, like when I called up some different sound guys, from here in Portland, and they were like, yeah, $25,000. That's going to be the cost to, get the sound recorded. Right. And we have, we like, well, this is how we want the sound recorded, because we had like kind of requirements and what we wanted it to be like.
Right.
We're like, okay, so 25,000 is more than our entire budget. So how do we get decent sound? So we ended up buying all the sound equipment that we wanted. We picked exactly what we wanted. We bought it on credit cards. And then we hired a guy to run the sound. And he did a great job. He's a guy from a band, Ronan. And he basically ran all the equipment, and we had the right equipment selected. Once we were done, we sold it all and we got most of our money back. And so we were able to get that sound quality we were looking for a fraction of the price. So, that's just one example. There's a lot of places where we did things like that to help bring the budget down and add production value.
And you guys designed your own music too, right?
I composed the entire score for the movie.
It's pretty intense. That's why I was thinking. I mean, there were so many things. I was looking in the credits, and I was just noticing, your names for everything pretty much. And I'm like thinking, these guys are like more talented than I thought they were.
We tricked them.
Yeah, I've known them, but I didn't know they were that talented. It was amazing because, like I said, I saw your names come up with everything practically, and I'm thinking, okay, so CGI, them, music, them, direction, them, photography, them. I'm going, you didn't have that many people behind you, right? Or producers and stuff.
Yeah, producers. We also had Danny Weiss and his son Josh, and I think you met them because they were with us when we did the interview last time. For the interview for the documentary. And Danny Weiss, he came in swinging, and the cabin, right? That was mostly built by him. Tim came up with the kind of the blueprint for it. And he was out there every day for like 2 months building that cabin. And it took a lot. I was working full time. Actually, I was working 2 jobs, one full time, one part time. And I would go out there after work and help him out as best I could.
Right.
He made that happen. And then he also helped get us distribution. And, he's been a huge part of the production, and we're continuing to work with him on the next project as well. So between that, but a lot of the other aspects we were kind of spearheading it, and then we had people behind us that were helping with sound and camera work and different things, because I'm in the movie in a lot of places, so I couldn't film everything.
Exactly.
So Jordan Roach was a cinematographer, just graduated from PC. I think it was Portland Community College. Yeah.
I think there needs to be a sequel, Blake Returns, with Barb.
Oh, I got to tell you a funny story about that,
Okay,
by the way.
we're going to take a break. And then, tell me the funny story because, the character Blake goes somewhere. I can't tell you where. It's like, I love to give spoilers in movies, and I shouldn't do that. But, it's like it's like you're going to the Upside Down, and I'm waiting for you to bring back Barb. It was funny. Anyway, we'll be back with the Wade brothers right here. It's Mount Adams, the movie. You got to get it. It's on Prime and Walmart. You can get it at Walmart, too, from what I understand. So we'll be right back with more. Don't go away. On the phone with me is Ronnie from GetTheTea.com. Hey, Ronnie, it is the tea that makes you go, I know this because I use it. My favorite is pomegranate. What kind of flavors are there to choose from with this wonderful tea?
You can do pomegranate. You can do just the straight, which is real good. And also we have a mint, a peppermint. People really love that one too. And we have a couple new flavors on the way, which I will not discuss yet, but they're coming.
A lot of people don't know that peppermint is a very, very good supplement to keep the stomach happy. It relaxes the intestines, and once again, it makes you feel better because it allows them to move around and get that stuff out of you, that bad stuff out of you.
Absolutely. This is a digest mover. So people have a hard time digesting stuff, or you get something stuck, or maybe you're a real heavy meat eater. The tea is wonderful. That's why it's tagline, the tea that makes you go.
If I want my life to change and get the tea, where do I go to get it?
GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
Fantastic.
Hey guys, it's Clyde Lewis. Have you ever wanted Ground Zero merchandise but didn't know where to go? Well, I want to let you know that we now have our own online store with such items as t-shirts, hoodies, decals, tote bags, and other exclusive specialty apparel. There's a secure and easy-to-use shopping cart for your purchases. Coming soon will be signed posters and coffee mugs available as we are constantly adding new items. So shop today at the official Ground Zero store by going to groundzeromerch.com. That's groundzeromerch.com.
It's all over the news, food shortages and scarcity in the supply chain. And the reality is nobody truly knows what might happen in the near future. Hi, I'm Clyde Lewis, and I want to let you know that it's a good idea to plan ahead so you aren't caught off guard. Nothing's more important than having enough food to eat, and we're here to help. We highly recommend My Patriot Supply, America's leading emergency preparedness company. They provide long-term emergency food that lasts up to 25 years in storage. When grocery stores run empty or disasters strike, their foods will be there when you need them most. Act now and secure at least a 4-week emergency food kit full of tasty meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. They have dozens of emergency food storage kits to choose from, along with a variety of other survival products. If the government tells you not to go out, you can have the peace of mind that comes from being prepared. After you order from My Patriot Supply, your food will arrive discreetly at your doorstep. Prepare today, because time is short. Go to preparewithgroundzero.com. That's preparewithgroundzero.com.
AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Are you stressed? I mean, who isn't? Anxiety creeping in? No, not that. Is sleep hard to attain because your brain just won't slow down? We're living in crazy times, and the fear knob has been turned up. Okay, there's an answer. Take a big breath, exhale, and go log on to AncientLifeOil.com. CBD, broad and full spectrum, organic and non-GMO CBD for you to enjoy. Change your tune from fear to calm, from brain overload to clear thinking. 0.003 THC on full spectrum and 0% THC on broad spectrum. Competitive pricing with the best quality. Also know everything is going to get better. No worries, be happy. CBD can help calm so your nerves don't think they're a 6-string electric guitar. Enjoy life, smile, and log on to AncientLifeOil.com for great CBD. That's AncientLifeOil.com. You'll be glad you did.
It's a well-known fact that controversial talk show hosts have recently been censored and even banned on the internet by corporate and political interests. Hey guys, it's Clyde Lewis from Ground Zero. And in order to counter the suppression of information, we've decided to create our own private digital playground called Aftermath. It's an exclusive online multimedia library featuring a social media platform, videos, audio clips, archive shows, research groups, documents, and a news aggregator. In addition, we're hosting other Ground Zero-friendly podcasts like Conspirafact with Wes and Bill, Into the Microcosm with Jimmy Jean, Parawareness with Mr. Gates and Isaac Weishaupt, Opposing Perspective with James Ponder, The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray Valentine, and several more shows. Mobile apps for Android and Apple are available too. The monthly subscription for Aftermath is only $10 a month. And don't forget to check out the yearly specials, including the Friends and Family Pass with 1 main account and 3 sub-accounts. Sign up now by going to aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Channel Weird with the Wade Brothers. The movie is called Mount Adams. And it's a fantastic movie. You should check it out. And you were going to tell me a story. I don't know what exactly you were going to go to. I didn't want to get into it. We had to interrupt it. So what story were you going to tell me?
Oh, yeah. So we were talking about the Blake character. So I played Blake. Mm-hmm. And we had a set of costumes and everything like that. I had 2 pairs of pants because like one of them got just ripped to shreds, and the shirt too, right? Because you remember the big like gash and stuff. And the funny thing is, 3 years after we finished filming, Tim and I were talking, and we were like, you know what? There's some scenes that need to be added here.
Yeah.
And because every year we pretty much went back and added new scenes. And so 3 years after we finished filming, I dug around in the closet and I was able to find that old costume. I can't believe I still had it. And so I could barely fit in the pants. I mean, I'm telling you, like, it was just like super, super tight for all of the shots.
Wow.
So that was, yeah, everybody was making fun of me for that.
You never realize just how much weight you gain in 3 years or you lose in 3 years. It's one of those things. Everybody says, so, it's always easy to gain weight, but it's harder to lose weight, pretty much. Anyway, you were talking about Easter eggs.
Yes, indeed.
Tell us about Easter eggs, because I know that a lot of people like to put them in their movies, and you have some very interesting ones you've added because of your CGI prowess.
Oh, I'm a big fan of the Hollywood conspiracy theories, especially the Illuminati. And so what I learned is that every movie has to have references to the Illuminati, And so that's what I did. There's Easter eggs throughout the entire film. There are road signs that have been renamed. There are, and I probably shouldn't spoil everything. There's the all-seeing eye. Home addresses have been changed with like 6615, which is one of their special codes. Checkerboard patterns, like you name it, it's in there. There's even one frame in the entire movie where there's an actual I think it's like the oldest drawing of Satan with like the goat horns and stuff like that. So I put that in one single frame, and I can't give away which frame it is, but it's actually in the movie. And so I was like, that's, it's like, okay. So if we ever go big time and conspiracy theorists later look up the film and they watch through it, they're going to be like, oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. They made it big because they're a part of the Illuminati.
Yeah. That's funny. You were also saying, and this reminds me of when I was in school, we used to do musicals, and the guys that would draw the back sceneries would add little indications, like, we did the Music Man once, and they had the whole scene of the backdrop of the place where the Music Man happens. Somebody put a lit cigar, they draw a lit cigar or a banana or something just to indicate that they're there. And you said you put a Thomas the Tank Engine in the movie.
I did. There's a drone shot of Portland. I think it's in the first 5 minutes. And if you look at the very bottom corner, there's a CGI blue train with 2 orange coaches that's just strolling through Portland area.
That's pretty funny. Anything else you added that if we looked, we'd find it?
Gosh, there's so many in there that I can't. I think that Thomas the Tank is the biggest one. There's also a billboard of Philip's wife, Jordan, who's an author. So I put her headshot in the background there. I think that's like one of the biggest ones I can think of. Yeah, Thomas the Tank. That took the most time because it's a CGI model of Thomas and all that stuff.
If you have any surplus money, do you think that you're going to go back and make a sequel? Because I think it's open for a sequel. It really is. I mean, I know it wasn't obvious. Okay, that's the thing. It's not obvious for a sequel, but there's certainly some things that I'm sure we'd like to know about Blake. We'd like to know about other things. What do you think?
You know what? Honestly, if there's enough money involved, I would be very open to it. the script would not be written by Phil or I this time around. It'd be written by Jordan, his wife, who's a fantastic author. Like that's her specialty. But funny enough, actually, our next movie, Life Cycle 63, takes place on a dry desert alien planet, very similar to what you see in Mount Adams. So we're actually considering putting it in the same like universe, and this is way in the future. And I, can't give away too much, but a group of what is it, scientists.
Basically a team on they crash land on this planet, and they have to fix their ship and survive the aliens and different things long enough to get off.
This is like what a couple hundred years from now, but we're going to put the alien bug on that planet, so like what you see in the opening of the film.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So in a way, it's kind of going to be a sequel, but a couple hundred years in the future.
We're probably going to plant some kind of Easter egg about Blake on the
put
planet.
A skeleton or something.
I just think that, your imagination with these horrible creatures, I think should be made into a horror film. Because I was thinking, I sat through the whole thing marveling at the dinosaurs, the alien dinosaurs, the reptilian. I thought that's original. I really did. I sat there and I thought, those are the aliens. That's original, and the reason why it's original is because they were like lizards. They weren't grays or anything. They're just lizards, and I'm thinking that's pretty original.
That's kind of what I was going for. I didn't want to, do the same old, that we've seen before. And also kind of thought it was cool. It's like the aliens that fly in the spaceships aren't the threat. It's the creatures that live on the planet with the aliens. It's like
that they let in.
Threat.
They left the door open, and the dogs ran out.
So we kind of like that idea, and we love creature horror flicks. And obviously this Mount Adams didn't end up being a horror flick, but I mean it could have made a fantastic going down the horror direction, which we almost did, but because family movies sell more, we decided to keep it PG-13.
Did you get a rating?
Nope. It didn't. After all that work, it's listed as unrated, like not rated on the DVD and everything. So it's like, darn.
Yeah, it's weird because it's hard to get a film sold if you haven't got a rating.
I know, yeah, but they thought it was best because since it's in the creature like genre, the people are more apt to buying it if it appears like there's more gore and violence and stuff like that. So.
Well, and also too, theaters are shut down. We didn't, we were originally hoping to go on a small theatrical release, but that didn't happen. And the rating system is closely tied to that as well. So the MPAA, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's okay. We've had to adapt. We had to completely change our marketing plan when COVID hit. We actually had theaters reserved and things like that, and it just killed everything. We had to start over. Again.
So during that 3 years, did you had to halt any kind of production because of COVID?
No, we moved forward on, Tim just continuing to do editing. And
there's no COVID in my basement.
Yeah. So we just, mostly Tim spent the time working on the music.
Music and wrapping up color grading and sound design and all that and doing the trailer stuff. So it worked out very well.
It's like long hours or just to do it a little at a time. I mean,
my record for this project was I was awake for 63 hours straight.
Wow. That's editing, music, and design.
That's when we were actually working on a promo video at the very tail end. So we got a call from a distribution company. They're like, okay, yeah, great. We want all the assets by this date for the movie. So we're like, okay, great. So we had to basically wrap everything up on the movie as quickly as we could, and we still had like at least a couple weeks worth of work to do, and we had the subtitles, all that stuff that goes into getting a film out there, and we all stayed up together and like just cranked it out.
The subtitles were a pain in the rear.
Oh, yeah, to do those
because we hired a company out of Canada to run them for us, and we got it back and we started reading the titles, and they like added like F-bombs and stuff. And we're like,
randomly,
we're like, what? This is not even in the movie. So we had to go through and read every word and compare it. And oh my goodness.
Oh, that's terrible.
And especially if you have, if your deadline's in like 48 hours, and you're like having to go through all these tedious tasks, it was just maddening. But
international markets don't wait for you.
If you had to do it all over again, would you?
Yeah.
I would do it a lot differently.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of changes. I mean, hopefully we've learned something in the last 5 years of production.
Well, that's great. Because I mean, I remember when we did Nightfall. I wanted to do it again. I would enjoy. Yeah, we had to do some shots too. We had to go back and shoot some other stuff because we wanted the distribution to, they wanted to pick up on distribution. They wanted more gore and more horror in it. It was a vampire film. So that's the hard part. You do an original movie and then they turn around and say, well, if you'd add this and take away this, and we'll distribute, we'll be distributors for it. And I'm like going, okay, great, whatever. But yeah, that's the hard part is when you do something and they want you to change a lot of stuff. And it's like, do I really have to? Where can we pick it up online?
Oh yeah, just go to our Facebook page. Just search up Mount Adams on Facebook, or go to Amazon. You can also get it on Vudu, and some Walmarts still have a few DVDs left. Most of them are out right now. But yeah, best place I think is Amazon to pick it up there. It's streaming.
Thank you both for being on Channel Weird. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Wade brothers with us. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.